Hey guys, Steve here. Hope you're doing well. As some of you know, I was saved by Jesus out of New Age spirituality. 10 years ago, in the summer of 2015, I gave my life to him. And in 2016, I recorded a short testimony video. And I feel like elaborating more fully on what I taught and experienced in the New Age and how I ended up becoming a Christian would be helpful and would give a better context for future content. For those who haven't heard of New Age spirituality, imagine a charcuterie board filled with all kinds of different spiritual practices, traditions, religious beliefs, and there is no official New Age Bible. And so you can kind of pick whatever suits your preferences, whatever appeals to you, and construct your own worldview out of it. There are some staples in the New Age movement, and those would include practices like meditation, psychedelics, yoga, energy healing, and there would be some staple beliefs as well, which would include things like pantheism or various forms of pantheism, reincarnation, the law of attraction, and Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is the idea that Jesus is someone who realized he was God and was here to help us realize we are God as well. In this view, God is the substance and essence of creation. Everything is made up of God, and so everyone and everything is God by nature. Jesus awakened to this and was trying to enlighten us by telling us we are all God's too, and the kingdom of heaven is within us. Christ consciousness is the goal and standard of New Age spirituality. People are trying to attain to the level of God consciousness that Christ had with their spiritual practices and so forth. Most of the teachers I would listen to would say Jesus was the most spiritually evolved human being to ever walk this earth. And this high view of Jesus was very appealing to somebody who came from a church background, someone with a Christian background. The fact that he's esteemed so favorably, it makes it feel very safe and right that Jesus is held in such high esteem. My parents raised my brother and I Christian. Mom was always telling us, be ready because Jesus is coming back, make sure you're ready. And that would make me nervous as a kid because I wasn't sure that I was ready. I remember telling the Lord when I was about 12, I wanted to be a missionary for him one day, but the desire to serve Jesus and to please Jesus was replaced with a desire for things of the world. I was put into public school in the 7th grade and more or less went off the deep end immediately. One of the staple topics in New Age spirituality is aliens, and this acted as a gateway into New Age spirituality for me. I was hooked on a program on the History Channel called Ancient Aliens, which taught the idea that ancient man was visited in the past by ETs who we mistook for being gods. And so ancient religions and mythology is their way of trying to articulate extraterrestrial visitation. And between the evidence that they were presenting and modern ET encounters, I figured something had to be going on. And so I started following up with people who would teach on extraterrestrials, and I got into their material, and they're teaching things like DMT, consciousness studies, parapsychology, near-death experiences, quantum mysticism, reincarnation, etc. I began reading other religious texts like the Bhagavad Gita, and I was majoring in university in philosophy at this time as well. And so the idea that all this data that I was coming across could be boiled down to one faith being exclusively true started to seem implausible and even impossible to me.